a lot of practices end up choosing an EMR that's not from their existing PM vendor. And they don't want to spend the money to buy an entirely new practice management system. And I think that makes a lot of sense. One of the things that we can do, rather than trying to get vendor A and vendor B to work together, because vendor A wants you to buy their practice management system and vendor B wants you to buy their EMR, what we can do is we can be like Switzerland. We sit in the middle. We can receive the charges from your EMR, pass it to your practice management system, and if you ever make a change in the future with your practice management system or your EMR, we can work with that new vendor too.
Bridging the gap between EMR technology and practice management technology is very important. There are at least two different approaches, major approaches that practices take. One would be an integrated EMR and PM system. And in that environment, one of the positives about that is that you're dealing with one vendor on both sides of the equation. So that theoretically, you've got a real solid interface between the two. We actually are in between those two interfaces in a number of our clients. So it may be that the specifics for a practice is such that even though they have an integrated EMR and PM system, in this particular area of automating the charge capture and coding, us being in the middle does provide a bridge and bridges that gap a bit from even within an integrated system. More importantly, many times we find that the right decision, financially and otherwise, for the practice is to have a best-of-breed approach, the best EMR for what they need and the best practice management system for what they need. And in that particular case, we bridge a very large gap, taking two disparate systems with two disparate technologies and allowing charges to pass seamlessly between the two. And the beauty of it is that we're probably, in many cases, already passing charges from one EMR system to another PM system. And so it's not a matter of we can do it, it's a matter of we're in fact doing it.
But it's also not just about taking charges from the EMR and getting them into the practice management system. If it was as easy as getting data from point A to point B, it'd be no problem. The tricky part is all of the things that a biller has to remember when they were doing the manual charge entry process. When you think about how do you do that in an electronic environment, you have to clean up that data, or else you've just automated a bad process and you're going to get a bad result.